25. The Harbour Mille incident wasn't just another bizarre UFO story, but instead the reported sightings of multiple unidentified flying objects during the night of January 25, 2010. At least 3 UFOs were spotted, and, according to the descriptions of various witnesses, the objects looked like missiles but emitted no noise. A resident managed to take a photograph of one of the objects. 24. Even though medical science assures us that head injuries kill brain cells and technically make us dumber, just ask boxers, this isn't the case for Jason Padgett, who became a mathematical genius overnight after an attacker punched him in the head. The 31-year-old man was a college dropout who had no background in mathematics beyond the everyday basics, nor did he engage in any spiritual activity or interests whatsoever. Padgett is only one of 40 known people in history to have acquired savant syndrome, an unexplained condition in which trauma to the head results in the emergence of remarkable talent in math, art, or music. 23. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission failed to figure out the reason behind the death of dozens of turtles in Keystone Heights in January 2012. Locals noticed the dead turtles, and after further investigation, experts ruled out traumatic death as the cause. 22. A strange report emerged from Chile in 2013 detailing sightings of a peculiar winged creature. The young man who witnessed it flying between 2 trees near Bustamante Park in Santiago described it pretty much as a cross between Batman and Dracula. Bat-like wings, a beak full of razor-sharp teeth, tearing claws, and a long tail with a flanged end. Was this flying reptile a figment of the young man's imagination, or does it provide living proof that prehistoric creatures still exist? 21. Last year in the Golan Heights, a 3-year-old boy claimed he remembered being murdered in a previous life. The boy said he was murdered with an axe and ushered elders to where his body was buried. The creepiest part of this story is that there, they found a skeleton with the murder weapon lying next to it. Of course, no official scientific answer has been given yet concerning this eerie phenomenon, and I have a feeling that research into this case will last for years, if not decades to come. 20. In 2014, curious observers and eagle-eyed internet users spotted an alleged thigh bone in images taken on Mars by the Curiosity rover, and, as usual in these cases, a logical explanation has yet to be given by NASA. 19. A 23-year-old student has fallen victim to one of the most extreme recorded cases of deja vu ever. According to his own claims, he has such a strong sensation of having done things before that he can barely function and recently had to drop out of college. Though no official explanation has been given for his condition, according to psychology expert Dr. Christine Wells, this could be the first ever recorded instance of psychogenic deja vu, which could be triggered by anxiety rather than a neurological condition such as dementia or epilepsy. 18. A ring-shaped crater was first spotted around December 2014 in Antarctica by geophysicist Christian Mueller. The mystery surrounding this 2-kilometer ice ring led Mueller and his team to discover 2 previous studies pertaining to a large meteorite that was believed to have landed somewhere in the Antarctic back in 2004. The researchers now believe that this ice ring might be the impact site of that meteorite. 17. In summer 2014, police officers in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, investigated one of the weirdest cases in the history of the department. A 20-year-old boy woke up in shock to find that he was engulfed in flames. According to witnesses, the blaze started spontaneously on his body. The victim was treated for second-degree burns at a local hospital, and all the doctors who reviewed his case said they can't explain it, nor have they ever seen anything like it. 16. In 2011, 2 American treasure hunters began searching Lake Michigan for gold. What they found instead were the long-lost remains of a 17th century ship that they believed to be the Griffin, a vessel built by French explorer Robert de La Salle in 1679. The newly discovered wreck, however, has turned out to be somewhat of a mystery, as experts have been unable to agree on whether it's actually the Griffin or something that hasn't even been historically recorded. 15. Recently, a very strange and unusual natural phenomenon occurred that most experts can't explain. The entire sand volume at Porthlaven in Cornwall mysteriously disappeared due to a freak tide. But after a second high tide a few hours later, the entire sand volume was redeposited on the beach, returning it to its original state. 14. As you can clearly see in this photo, which was also taken by NASA's Curiosity rover, there's a clear shadow of an actual person working on repairing it. Most conspiracy theorists have jumped to various conclusions, with the two most popular being that either a human is already capable of traveling to and living on Mars, or that the mission is a hoax, the rover never even went there, and all of these photos have been taken at the same studio where the moon landing was shot. 13. Many researchers from universities in the US, UK, and Poland have recently found that different types of icebergs can be identified from their acoustic signatures. By placing underwater microphones near the Hans Glacier in the Arctic Ocean, they were able to monitor the process of ice breaking away from the main flow. Although they all agree that this natural phenomenon is real, no one can explain how it occurs, so it remains a mystery. 12. I know what you're probably thinking, but in this case, it looks like what you see in the picture isn't a result of Photoshop or a fanatical claim of alien abduction. This strange burning object was sighted by multiple witnesses across two countries, Brazil and Argentina, in January 2014. Most astronomers theorize this to be a comet, though a certain explanation has not yet been found. 11. Few people in history have had the bad luck of having a near-death experience, but apparently that's not the case for Beverly Gilmore, who has had over 1,000. In 2013, doctors and scientists studying her condition classified her incredibly unique case as the only known one in the world, and have yet to give any logical explanation as to why this woman has been flirting with death over and over again. 10. On the same day as the rare snowstorm in Libya in 2012, strange clouds conquered the sky above Panama City Beach, Florida. Was it a tidal wave of cotton filling? Or, according to the more extreme theorists, some ghostly aerodynamics maybe? The only sure thing is that the mysterious cloud formations that day had the weather world buzzing. 9. The strange sound heard throughout Costa Rica became somewhat of a global phenomenon. On January 9, 2012, thousands awoke to a strange loud sound that emanated from the sky. Many frightened civilians called the authorities to report the apocalyptic sounding hum, but the lame explanation concerning the thunderous sound that they received left most of them even more suspicious. 8. A team of researchers studying deer populations at the Xuan Lien Nature Reserve in Vietnam were amazed when they rediscovered a species that disappeared over 85 years ago and hadn't been seen for nearly a century. So far, they don't have a scientific explanation for this bizarre development, which has caused many conspiracy theorists to label the situation as an unexplained resurrection of sorts. 7. A medical mystery surrounds the unexplained condition of 12-year-old Landon Jones. The boy from Cedar Falls, Iowa, noticed something was wrong when he woke up on October 14, 2013, feeling dizzy and suffering from chest congestion. An X-ray later showed that he had a bacterial infection in his left lung, which later healed. However, since then, the boy has had no physical desire to eat or drink, even though he can still taste and smell normally. 6. A strange chunk of rock containing 30,000 individual diamonds was unearthed in a Russian mine in December 2014. This red and green tinted rock is considered to be so rare and unusual that it was donated to science so that research could be carried out on its composition and origins. 5. Huge numbers of the organism known as by-the-wind sailors have been washing up along the west coast of America during the past few months. The blue sea creatures have started to turn up on the shores in such large quantities that in some regions they are believed to number in the billions. 4. Two Russian pilots recently reported seeing a strange but beautiful underwater light show 5 hours into their flight from Hong Kong to Alaska. It began with a sudden intense flash in the distance before red and orange glows could be seen permeating the ocean. The strangest thing, however, is that there were no storms in the region at the time, and neither of the men had seen anything like it before. 3. In 2012, thousands of dead herring carpeted a stretch of coast in northern Norway, and then, even more bizarrely, disappeared. The original estimations of 20 tons of dead fish couldn't be verified simply because before the locals could start the official count, they vanished. 2. Following a hailstorm in England, tiny blue jelly-like spheres about 3 centimeters in diameter fell from the sky. After they rained down, the sky turned dark yellow. A local witness reported that he found a few and noticed that they had a hard exterior shell and a soft interior, but they didn't smell, weren't sticky, and didn't melt. What were these spheres? We'll probably never know. 1. The locals of a small Arkansas town witnessed a really macabre phenomenon back in 2012 when they saw over 5,000 dead blackbirds drop from the sky in the early hours of the new year. What's even more mysterious is that this was the second year in a row that the dead birds fell when the calendar year changed. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 2 videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.